place called Parpay, which is 90 minutes northwest of Chiang Mai in northern Thailand. And I've come to this meditation retreat, which is part of a Buddhist monastery, here for 8 days, with just, with the sole intention really of just disconnecting from daily life and an opportunity to just quieten everything down, slow down the pace of life, and just enjoy the beautiful peace and calm and nature here. So this retreat is set in a jungle, sort of mountainous jungle environment, and it's incredibly peaceful. Apart from the birds and nature and the wind blowing through the trees and the river flowing in the distance, there is very little other disturbance. It's not near a major road, so there's no cars or motorbikes, and we're obviously we're clearly not under a flight path because we're not hearing any aircraft or anything. So yeah, a really beautiful, wholesome, enriching environment to spend some time in. So the daily routine that we do here is, so we're meditating 4 times a day, 2 60-minute practices and then 2 90-minute practices, and in amongst that the monks are taking us through various teachings and the philosophies around Buddhism, and a little bit about the language. So the language dates back, and so in historically it goes back to the Pali language, which stems from India, and how Buddhism has originated in India, and then how that's travelled around the world really. So the Pali language is still used as the sort of the central language around the meditations and the dialect of the monks. And one of the Pali words they use on every day we're talking about is this word, this concept of sabai, and sabai translates to comfort, which has been a really interesting discovery for me. I've meditated a lot for a number of years now, and for the longest time questioned myself whether I was maybe doing it right or doing it wrong. And there's no right or wrong answer to it really, but I constantly find myself questioning whether, if I was moving, if I was fidgeting, if I was uncomfortable, if there's an insect that lands on you and you want to brush it off, and really unsure about whether I should do that or whether it was the kind of the wrong thing to do really. And what I've discovered over these last few days is that actually, when you sit amongst the monks and when they meditate, they are often moving, and sabai, as I say, refers to this word of comfort, and the whole philosophy around the meditation practice is about being comfortable. And so, midway through a practice, if you find yourself uncomfortable, or maybe you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, and maybe your foot goes to sleep, then it's okay to adjust your position, get the blood flowing. If you decide to move from the floor to a chair and continue your practice, you just reset and go back to where you were. If you need to get up and go to the bathroom or whatever it is really. And I think that for me that's been a really positive sort of a bit of an understanding, I think, and to have that that information and to see how the monks, as I say, conduct themselves around meditation practice is, it's been really, really heartwarming actually. And as I say, I recognise there's no sort of right or wrong way. Meditation can be for 30 seconds, sitting behind the steering wheel at a set of traffic lights, or it can be hours and hours long, as some of these, some of the meditating monks that are currently here. That is it, from first in the morning until they go to bed at night. It's just about meditating. And so, however your meditation practice looks, as I say, believe me when I say there is no right or wrong way to do it. And they encourage, whether that be sitting cross-legged on the floor, sitting on a sofa, laying down on the bed, and just to sit and be comfortable with your thoughts, and however, if you have a daily mantra that you say to yourself as you meditate, or whether you're just sitting with your thoughts and just letting them come and go. The idea is to, obviously is just to be comfortable and happy and natural to sit with that. And I would say to anybody, if you have a daily meditation practice, that's amazing. And, certainly from a mental health perspective, hugely important, particularly in the craziness and the busyness of the modern world. But if it is something that you were looking to do, certainly to come somewhere like this, is not excessively expensive thing to do at all. And again, to come here for the meditation, for the interaction and the time with the monks, with the accommodation and the most incredible food served for every meal. I couldn't recommend it more, really. If it's a disconnect from the busyness of life that you're looking for, then absolutely, this will stand you in good stead for allowing your mind to settle, and for whatever's going on in your life. Again, because of course one of the other things that is talked about regularly here is just about being present. Whatever's gone on in the past, you can't control, and you can't control the future either. So it's just about being present, and it's about sitting comfortably in the present moment with your thoughts, with no rushing. There's no rush about life here whatsoever. If you turn up to a meditation practice or you don't, that's entirely up to you. It's and again, absolutely zero judgment. I think it's a really refreshing, enriching and nourishing environment to spend some time in. I think to come to somewhere like this, to come to northern Thailand, the people, the food, the environment, the friendliness, the warmth of the locals is incredible, and they welcome the locals are welcoming Westerners with open arms here. The idea that you can come, that you can understand a little bit about them, understand a bit about their culture, spend the time here in this stunning environment, and just taking that break out from whatever else is going on in life, really. A really rewarding time, and I certainly will go away from here with a lot more mindfulness in my daily life. Some of the invaluable lessons, some of the philosophies around how these monks are living their lives, and how they would encourage anybody to be able to integrate some of these practices into their daily lives also. Will stand anybody in good stead in this, as I say, in this ever busy world that we live in, where we're always connected, always interacting. And so to be able to disconnect and now interact just with my own thoughts and nature around me feels incredibly rewarding, and I would recommend it to anybody.